Welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real, metaphysical, and occult knowledge so that you can manifest real and tangible results in your life. Now today, we're going to be discussing something I love, kitchen witchery. I know that we've been doing kitchen witchery videos for a while now. We are trying to do more of them. But with it being winter and everything, I've been using a lot of a specific spice, more so than I usually do throughout the year. And I realized this is a spice that I love to use. And it has amazing metaphysical properties. And it's also one that I think gets overlooked a lot. So I really wanted to do this video. Now that spice would be, of course, nutmeg. Now most of us will buy nutmeg in a powdered variety of some sort, okay? And that's actually my preferred way to buy it. Nutmeg itself can actually come in like a large nut that can easily be ground over things. And those are relatively easy to buy and they keep for quite a while, and they're handy to have around. And we will talk about some uses for those in this video. Most of us, I think, will have ground nutmeg in our cabinet already, especially this time of year, if not year-round. Now, me personally, I love to use nutmeg in meat rubs and stuff like that. I think most people do use it in pies and desserts during the season, but it is a wonderful spice. Now, why do I love it magically, though? Well, nutmeg is fantastic for travel spells. Many of you know I do a lot of traveling. Me and the wife, we're on the roads a lot. So for travel spells, nutmeg is amazing. In fact, this is one of the first places where if you did want to get the whole unground version of nutmeg, it's not a bad place to go because you can carry that nutmeg as an amulet. You can actually do spell work and direct it towards safe travels. For those of us who do rune work, it makes a great rune medium in which we can carve a rune onto to further increase that particular talisman or amulet. And if you all would like me to show you how to make one of these, drop that in the comments below. Another area or property of nutmeg is justice. Yes, it promotes justice. So it'll promote justice in just about anything, though I think the most common place I do see it used is when someone needs to, well, they're going to court, that's what they're going for. Or they are following a court case that they have a hand in, maybe it's someone they know, a loved one, or someone's going through something in the courts, and they're seeking a form of justice. They will utilize nutmeg to see to it and follow a direct line to justice. Now, this is usually the people who think that they are in the right. If they know they did wrong and they're trying to get away with it, they usually don't do this because then justice would go work against them, you know what I mean? It doesn't seek to help you win, it seeks justice. Remember that. That's an important one on this one. Another one that I know a lot of people is going to love, nutmeg is fantastic for astral travel meditations. Yes, astral travel meditations. Now, you can use this in incense form, or my personal favorite, you can go ahead and get you a cup, you can get you some tea, or we all know I like coffee, and you can actually just sprinkle some nutmeg in the pot that you brew in, whether it be a coffee pot, French press, teapot, doesn't matter. Or you could sprinkle it just straight into the cup, however you like. Me personally, this time of year, I actually sprinkle it into the coffee grounds before I brew. Turns the whole pot into a wonderful nutmeg-style coffee. And it is very, very good for any type of astral work, especially astral travel meditations and whatnot. I've even found that it does enhance just meditations in general if you want a good meditation incense or beverage to help you with meditating. Now, when you are making this, I will state this. If you're someone who falls asleep during meditation, something like coffee or tea, something caffeinated, that's going to help you stay awake with the nutmeg in it is a great ideal. You're solving two problems here. You're helping yourself stay awake while making it easier to transition and stay focused and get results on your meditations. However, if caffeine makes you overly jittery, you may want to not use something caffeinated and go for something else. Otherwise, you may end up too jittery to relax enough for meditation. So take that in consideration when you do work on a beverage style. Anyways, back to the video. Another one that I have tried it for, I've gotten varying results here. But I do know a lot of people who swear by it for this, and that is lucid dreaming. It is a great herb. A lot of people love to use it for lucid dreaming or triggering lucid dreams or enhancing lucid dreaming. And the way most of the people utilize it when they talk to me about this is two ways. One, they will make a sleepy beverage night drink, usually a tea or something that's going to help them sleep, and they'll put the nutmeg in there. Or, and this one I think is my favorite, and it's the one I tend to get the most results out of anytime I've done it. Like I said, it's been varying, but this has been the most reliable for me and from what others have told me. They will take the whole nutmeg, unground, put it in their pillowcase, and sleep with it in their pillowcase. How easy is that, right? And again, this is another place where you could use sigils or runes to carve into that as well to enhance it. And another property of nutmeg, one that I know a lot of people is going to like, is money. It draws in money, and it's used in a lot of money drawing oils and incenses. So if you're doing prosperity magic or you're trying to draw in money specifically, nutmeg is a great herb to add to your spell working, whether you're dressing a candle with it, doing candle magic, whether you're brewing it into some kind of a beverage that you're going to partake as part of a ritual to draw in money. Whether you just want to keep it and create a talisman out of the whole nut unground. All these are great ways that you could utilize it. Or, as most people do, you could blend it in with a money drawing oil. Okay? Now, one that I really like, and I actually do use around the holiday season, repel unwanted people. Yeah, not kidding. Do it. In fact, another great way to utilize this, not just around the holidays, is I have often sprinkled nutmeg over my doorway or made some kind of a talisman that I place somewhere outside to dissuade salespeople and the likes from ringing my doorbell. Essentially anyone that would annoy me, bother me, and is not really necessarily welcome. It's pretty much repels them and keeps them away from my home. And I've actually found this works great, absolutely great. We once lived in an area with a very, very, very high concentration of a particular religious group who would come around and knock on my door every freaking week, 2 times a week, and wake me up. Man, they are early birds. And I couldn't get rid of them. They would not leave. I'd have to get somewhat rude before they'd leave. Started using the nutmeg. Boom, they were gone. It was amazing. I finally started sleeping. Luckily, we've not lived in a place that was that bad since. But if we do hit like a sales season or something like that, where you're seeing those weird vacuum cleaner salesmen, or they're trying to sell cleaning products or something, you notice there's like a trend to those usually through the year. Once we see those, I will use the nutmeg and sprinkle it around there to make sure they skip my house. So that's a great use of it as well. Another fantastic use for nutmeg is it helps you be convincing. It helps you be charismatic. So for a lot of people, I do recommend using nutmeg if they are going to do a business presentation, if they are trying to do something to get perhaps their workplace to pick up their design ideals, anything like that. A lot of people in the business market, they have to make a pitch, and that pitch has to be convincing. This is one of the times where I would definitely say nutmeg is fantastic. In fact, I myself have had to do this before, and I have recommended it to my fellow magicians, friends, and clients, in which they will literally brew a thermos of coffee that they take to work with them anyway. No one suspects a thing. And they got their little coffee drink right there, sipping on it, preparing for the presentation. and they may even have a cup of coffee in the presentation to sip on before they get up there. Okay? Now, I know most fancified presentations, you shouldn't probably have your coffee up there drinking it while you're talking. It's usually why you don't see me drinking coffee a lot, this video being an exception, during a video that I'm recording. But in some presentations it's a bit more relaxed, and that's an okay thing. You could sip on it then, but it's usually better to sip on it prior, before you go up there to make the presentation. Just a little tip there. And quite possibly the reason most people come to Magick: love and relationships. Yes, nutmeg can help with love and attraction. This is another, you could really go both ways with this, whether you're using it as an incense, you're creating some kind of a love or attraction oil for spell work later. Nutmeg is fantastic. You could sprinkle it into a dinner. Perhaps you actually are on a dinner date with that special someone and you're trying to develop love and attraction between the two of you. You could utilize it in your kitchen witchery that way. Again, you could go with the beverage method. Really, any of these seasonings, we are definitely limited only by our creativity, but I think a lot of people like to use the whole nut on this a lot of times to create a talisman or amulet that they can carry around with them. And I find that's really, really handy, especially if you can place it somewhere like it's on a necklace or a string or in your pocket where it's not going to get in the way, so that when you need that extra bit of courage or inspiration or confidence during said date or outing, you can actually touch the amulet or whatnot. Some people say it's placebo effect. Well, if it works, right? All right. Now, if I was to sum up nutmeg into a generic magical properties, I would probably say prosperity, good fortune, love, and psychic powers. Or power. I always say psychic powers. It sounds weird, like a comic book. So, any type of psychic work, whether you're trying to develop your arcane senses, whether it's astral travel, whether it's scrying, any of those things, you could easily utilize nutmeg for that. You could use it in the incense you're burning. You could use it in an oil that you're wanting to maybe dress your third eye with, or in the case of a scrying, maybe you want to put it on the mirror. Me, myself, I prefer to put it on me, not the mirror. I hate having things on my mirror. It's an OCD thing. I don't like splotches on the frame or anything on my mirror. You could also dress the back of the mirror, which if I was to dress a mirror, it would be on the back. But you could easily turn it into also a beverage that you could, again, drink before the meditation. That would be an easy way to do it before your divination work, or before you begin training your arcane senses. You're really only limited by your creativity here. And the good fortune. Now, if you look at the list that we went through of the different ways we could utilize it, whether it be drawing money, whether it be convincing, whether it be inspiring lucid dreaming, a lot of people would actually place many of these in some fashion into good fortune. The lucid dreaming one, I'm going to be honest, I've heard that one referred to as good fortune. To me, that just falls over into the psychic area, and we've already covered that. But yeah, good fortune and good luck could definitely boost many of these things, and that could easily be why it is so useful in these things. But I have also clearly seen people specifically state these specifics, such as money drawing oil, repelling people, being convincing, as strong properties and uses in nutmeg. So I wanted to list those separately to give you very specific areas where you could use it. Now, prosperity. We've talked about prosperity here on the channel. Prosperity can mean a lot of things. Your life becomes prosperous. And the word prosperity and growing prosperity in your life can go out to any form of prosperity. Having friends, having a good job, having a nice house, having a nice vehicle. You're prosperous in many, many fashions throughout life, not just love. Though prosperity can easily go into relationships, it also goes into money. So yes, nutmeg can definitely help in all of these particular facets very, very easily. And of course, we did discuss love. It is very helpful with love magics, love spells, love ointments. But as always, be careful with love spells. You don't want to tinker with free will, okay? Use it to help you to find true love, not to tinker with free will. All right? This is going to be a quick video, I hope, but those are just a few of the properties and to get you thinking about ways that you could use nutmeg in your kitchen witchery. I may actually do a video, perhaps showing some of the other ways that I may use nutmeg and maybe show some recipes where you can use it. But honestly and truly, this spice is so commonplace and goes with so easily on things. I mean, you could just sprinkle this into your hamburger meat when you make burgers. And though most people wouldn't be able to pick it out, it would still function very, very easily. And it actually does add a very, very pleasant and flavor to meats. In fact, when I do a lot of my holiday meat dishes, there's usually some form of nutmeg that I place within the rub. So I hope you're going to give nutmeg, the very, very often forgotten spice on our shelves, a chance and try it out in your kitchen witchery. Until next time, I'm Drake. This has been Working Dragon Mystic. Take care. Bye-bye.